Alright, so quite often get asked where I source particular items when I'm restoring the mowers that I restore. So I'm going to try and sort of give some guidance on who to speak to or where to go to source those particular parts. So today's video we're going to talk about nut and bolt kits. It's probably the number one thing I get asked of where I purchase my nut and bolt kits. So I do not personally go down the bearing shop and source all the nuts and bolts and washers and everything needed. Now there are people that do that and that's fine. I personally would rather just buy a nut and bolt kit. Everything comes and then I know I have all the right stuff and I also know where to put them. So if you were to go to the bearing shop, they'll just probably give you a giant bag full of nuts and bolts, and it's up to you to work out where those nuts and bolts go on your restoration. Now, some of the nuts and bolts are very similar, with particular bolts are just a tiny bit longer, that sort of stuff. So it is somewhat crucial that you put the right nut and bolt in the right spot when restoring. So how I like to do it, I just buy a nut and bolt kit similar to the one on the bench here. It will rock up in one bag, and inside that one bag you'll have individual bags, and each individual bag has a label on the bag telling you exactly where to put the nuts and bolts inside that bag. So they are categorized into sort of like rear roller, handlebars, all that sort of stuff. So when you're doing your restoration, you're working on one particular part, say the rear roller, you can grab your bag, re-roll the nuts and bolts, and then you know that everything in that bag is going to be needed for assembling the rear roller. So I think they're incredibly handy, and I would definitely urge anyone, especially first-time restorers, to just buy a nut and bolt kit. So I have purchased this nut and bolt kit from Brett Glancy. So Brett Glancy runs a Facebook page called SEQ Reel Mowers, Restorations, Parts and Services. So he is doing three different types of nut and bolt kits. So he's got the basic one. This is just the basic nut and bolt kit. I seem to have enough spare parts, or I've personally sourced other parts myself. So a basic kit suits my needs. He does 3 levels. So an intermediate kit would be his next level up, and in that you'd get a basic nut and bolt kit and you get a few extra items. So I believe it comes with clutch corks, definitely something you should be replacing when restoring your mower. And his highest level kit, I think it's called the top end kit. Now in this kit basically comes with everything you're going to need. So it'll be nut and bolt kit, it'll come with clutch corks, pivot pins, real height adjuster, bolts, handlebar pivot pins, all those extra little things that you've got to actually sort of take into consideration when you're restoring. So some of those items you may wish to reuse, such as your handlebar pivot pins. I quite often find you can reuse them, but if you're doing brand new, replacing everything on your restoration, I think a brand new pivot pin, nice shiny stainless steel one, it really does add that little extra touch. So I will link Brett's Facebook page. So Brett sells all his stuff on Facebook. I'll give him a link down below. Check him out. If you do want to purchase any of his items, I believe he also does bearing kits, stainless steel PTO shafts. They're exceptional. Chain tensioners, chain idles, and reel adjustment bolts, and pivot pins for your reel adjusters, and your pivot pins for your handlebars. So excellent bloke. He's local to me. I'm happy to support him. He's supported me for quite some time. So definitely check out SEQ Reel Mower Restorations, Parts and Services. And if you are looking for a nut and bolt kit, I believe they are $110 plus postage, possibly, or maybe $110 including. I'm not sure. You'll have to check with Brett but definitely look him up, and that's how I purchase all my nuts and bolts. So just a quick video. Thanks for watching.